It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in downtown OKC. Tonight, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks control the tap. Hawks coming off a 24-win season, Jay, but not one, not two, but 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, they got a big-time shooter in Kevin Huerter from Maryland. They got Omari Spellman, who won a national championship with Villanova, highly utilized in pick and pop. And then they got a very polarizing pick in Trae Young, who set college basketball on fire, one of the most gifted scorers you have in this draft.
And a put-back slam.
And I got a chance to hear a lot of the conversation at the bench. And one of the things they called out was owning the backboards. Looks like the message is really getting through.
Here comes the screen. Prince, tough matchup against George. Thunder with the basketball. Strong finisher, Paul George.
You know, teams usually shoot higher percentages early in the shot clock. Plus, you take away the legs of the defense. You have to dictate the pace.
Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Here comes the screen. To Trae Young. The Hawks with 4 to shoot. And the rebound comes down to the Thunder. George to Westbrook. Going to launch beyond the arc. Big Russ, big shot, hits the 3.
That shot was nice, but that pass, that was the real highlight. Good teams always find a way to get the best shot available.
To Trae Young. To Kevin Huerter. Has a chance, knocks it down from mid-range.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Westbrook with the basketball, leads 3. To Schroeder. Oh, he had him there for a second. Schroeder. Short jumper, won't fall.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
It's Atlanta ball. John Collins, guarded by Russell Westbrook. To Trae Young. Fires the 3, his first effort, off the mark.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
He engulfed him that time.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Up by 3. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
The Hawks will use a timeout. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
Into the game for Atlanta, number 24.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Oh, had him going there for a second. How you practice leads to that. Nice pump fake.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Jay, it wasn't that long ago. Atlanta won 60 games. Right now, what's the outlook for this franchise?
Well, the general manager, Travis Schlenk, has done a really good job in trying to build the culture, the right culture for the Atlanta Hawks. And that starts with their head coach in Lloyd Pierce. He got him as an assistant coach with the Philadelphia 76ers, and now he can also steal that tagline for the Hawks. It's time to trust the process all over again, but now in Atlanta, Georgia.
Here's Atlanta with the basketball. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Screen coming. Trae Young. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Gets a look. Can't hit.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you on the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Paul George trying to cash in on the three-point play. A career 84% free throw shooter. The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play. The lead grows to 12. Lynn with it. Looking to make something happen. The pass set it all up.
Now, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but you have to take it one possession at a time. You have to continue to chip away. It hasn't been the best first quarter, but if you get a couple more of those to drop, you'll find yourself right back in this ballgame.
Westbrook to Monroe. Alex Len swats it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
It's Westbrook. Rebound hauled in by Atlanta. Bazemore against the elite defender Robertson. Monroe to Paul George. Whoa, what a finish. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
From the painted area, won't go down.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
In the first quarter.
Westbrook. Oh, Russell Westbrook. Looking good. 4 for 5.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
It's the Hawks with the basketball. Lynn. To Kevin Huerter. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Jeremy Lin at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 80% at the line. One free throw good, so he converts on the three-point play, and the lead down to 11. Westbrook into the front court. He'll run the offense. To George. A drive, but he can't get it to go. Lin with it. Trailing by 11. Jeremy Lin, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
Lynn with it. Down a dozen. Just not going down. First quarter's complete. The Thunder in command of this one. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Westbrook across the timeline. Lead is 12. To Paul George. Oh, he had him there for a second. George. Oh, good offense beating good defense.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Hawks with the basketball. Lynn guarded by Jeremy Grant. Takes stock of the floor. Lynn to Trae Young. Here comes the screen. Prince against Paul George. Knocked loose. Jay, without question, one of the biggest moments of the NBA offseason. Paul George stays in OKC.
I think him and Russ work well off each other. Playoff P wants to be Playoff P all the time. Who better to bring that out of you than the Beast Book?
Lynn with it. Trailing by 15. Jeremy Lin. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
And whether you're moving north or south or east or west, you got to be able to keep pace with the ball carrier and most importantly, stay in his chest. That's on the defender. It's way too early to be fatigued.
To George. Westbrook. Monroe scores from the post.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
To Trae Young. Five seconds to shoot. Lets it fly from long range. Trae Young able to knock it down. Tough shot with the hand in his face.
That one year he played at Oklahoma, the first half of the season, everybody was claiming him, including myself, as the National Player of the Year. And then after he became the main point of focus for other teams, you started to see diminishing returns. His game started to get a little bit sloppy. He was a volume shooter. So now I think he has to be more sharp, more in tune with how his team plays and throw himself into what the team is doing first. He's a better passer than what he gives credit for. If he's able to pass and get other people involved, inevitably his shot will come around.
Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
And throws it down.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Whistle stops play. Timeout here for Atlanta as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Into the game.
No good and no foul. To Paul George. And stuffs it home. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Deep two there, won't go. Westbrook into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Tough make through traffic.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Thunder with the basketball. And the reward, he's going to the line.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Team foul number 1.
Russell Westbrook at the line for 2 shots. A career 81% free throw shooter. First one, count it. Two for 2 on that trip.
Oh, yeah, get your money, man.
Lynn, guarded by Russell Westbrook. Jay, I'm going to say that you don't know this, but since 1980, the Hawks have drafted only 4 players to have appeared in the All-Star game. Doc Rivers, Kevin Willis, Al Horford, and Jeff Teague.
Well, how about a guy named Dominique Wilkins? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, interesting that you'd ask. Dominique Wilkins was actually selected by the Utah Jazz. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him. Hawks have it.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
And George able to gobble up the rebound. Westbrook with it. His guys holding the big lead. That pass stolen by the Hawks. Lynn. Not that time. Oh, and a putback.
A lot of players lift weights, but who cares if you lift weights if you don't use that huge upper body? Great job using that big frame.
Beyond the arc for 3. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Monroe to Westbrook. Shot won't go. Lynn with it. His guys down big. Paul George sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Monroe. Oh, had him going there for a second. Westbrook to Ibaka. Shot from the lane won't go. And scores.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Westbrook with the basketball. His guys leading by 14. Nothing going here on that drive. To George. Fires the 3. That's good D. Shot no good. Lynn with it. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half. To Kent Bazemore. Knocked loose. Sacrificing everything for the loose ball. Westbrook. Missed it. How'd that not go down? Lynn with it. Trailing by 14. Knocked loose. Couldn't keep it in. It's out off Greg Monroe. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes.
Entering the game for Oklahoma City, number 3, Nerlens Noel.
Trae Young. Thunder have it. To Westbrook. Trying to cash in. Chance for Westbrook. No good. To Trae Young. Nothing going here on that drive. Trae Young to Kent Bazemore. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
George buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Defensive foul to number 13, Paul George. That's his first personal foul.
Kent Bazemore is going to get 3 shots here. 71% for his career. first one goes down. Second and 3 is good. Perfect from the line. Hits all 3 of them. That's it. First half has come to an end, and a nice cushion for the Thunder.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Thunder were the dominant team in that first half, without question. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Hawks did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. At this point, it's all about pride and mental toughness. A comeback is not impossible, but it's also not likely. These are the guys getting buckets for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game trap. Assists.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are a team that's playing unselfish basketball and reaping the benefits. Great chemistry from these guys in the opening half, and it bodes well for them moving forward. Russell Westbrook is the assist leader among his teammates.
Player of the half.
Paul George has been a defensive force in this matchup. If he's not stealing the ball, he's swatting it. And that combination has made for an incredible half.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this, except that he fits the title of this segment? He was definitely cold in that first half. Here's our top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
It's Russ at the controls. To Ibaka.
Hey, you got your screen right, screen right, screen right.
Probing the defense. Paul George to Westbrook. Can't connect. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Not that time. He misses.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Here comes the screen. George to Westbrook. Nothing going here on that drive. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go.
One of the best kept secrets in the game. Utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air. Crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
Westbrook. Tough shot. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Trae Young. Too much contact, and free throws coming.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Westbrook to Paul George. Here's a chance from long range.
That's his first
Paul George is going to get a chance at 3 here. Hasn't missed yet. First free throw is good. Hits the second. One more coming. It's all 3 free throws. Here's Atlanta. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Dwayne Dedmon with the 2.
And you best believe that every one of those that goes in fills the confidence meter.
Westbrook's shot won't go on the drive. Another follow, still no good.
And the tenacity of this game has been set from the jump ball. When guys lined up for it, I mean, you saw the bumping, the pushing, the shoving going on. Guys weren't giving up that space. They let him know nothing was going to be easy this evening.
Westbrook into the front court. It's a 9-point lead. Lays it up and in.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
To George. And a put-back slam.
Not really known for attacking the glass, but I like that hustle. We need to see more of that.
Trae Young. To Kevin Huerter. Now pass taken away by the Thunder.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
Dwayne Dedmon with the block. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. New blood coming in for both sides.
Number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
It's Atlanta ball. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Probing the defense. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Carmelo Anthony traded, but Sam Presti turns that into Dennis Schroeder.
And I love this acquisition by the Thunder. When you think about Schroeder, he is almost the opposite of what Russell Westbrook is. He is not a ball-dominant guard. He will have the ball in his hands, but he's more apt to make plays quickly with the ball than Russell, who likes to hold on to the ball towards the end of the shot clock.
Knocked loose, and that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. It remains Atlanta basketball. Lynn picked up by Robertson to Trae Young. Lynn to Trae Young. For 3. Herder can't connect that time. To Schroeder. Oh, Dennis Schroeder looking good. 4 for 5.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Now the Hawks coach going to call a timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Changes coming from both sides right now.
Entering the game for the Oklahoma City.
Lynn.
Number 23, Terrence.
Serge Ibaka rejects it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
To Ken Bazemore. Lynn. He buries it.
Well, I like what you're doing right now. It looks like you're running some DHOs into PNRs. That's dribble handoffs into pick and rolls. You keep running that action, you're constantly going to keep the defense guessing.
Paul George to Schroeder. Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's now 5 for 6.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
5 to shoot for Atlanta from long range. That one off the mark. It's no good. OKC ball. Schroeder to Ibaka. Hawks have the rebound. Screen coming. Lynn. Bazemore matched up with Patrick Patterson. Picked up by the Thunder. Ferguson. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Lynn with it. Down a bundle. Down low Plumlee to Kevin Herder. 4-3. It's good. That's the shot they wanted him to take.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Off the iron. No good.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
And he's fouled. Good play by the shooter.
You know what? That's an even better play by the defender. I like the foul there. Send a message. Nothing easy.
He's going to have to earn it now. And he connects on the first free throw. And he hits the second. Knocks down all 3 at the line. Here's Atlanta with the basketball. Trae Young. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. To Monroe. Slams it down. Good luck keeping up with that.
Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick.
Has a look. That's usually one that he'll knock down. Third quarter comes to an end. The Thunder in command of this one. Hawks with the basketball to start this fourth quarter. They're looking up at a big margin, and that, Jay, shouldn't come as a surprise to many.
Well, for them to have a chance to win, I'm glad they brought their A game in their backpacks here to the arena, but that's not enough. They need their A-plus game, and they need to execute down the stretch. You need to throw everything in the bag at them in order to win this game.
To Paul George. Going to launch beyond the arc. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
In the first half, he pretty much made every single shot. It was magical to watch. But now that you have drawn so much attention, try to get your teammates more involved.
Ferguson to Westbrook. There's the toss. Now a steal by Atlanta.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Knocked loose. Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. That pass stolen by the Hawks. To Trae Young. Dwayne Dedmon rocking the rim.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Westbrook across the timeline. His guys holding the big lead. To Trae Young. To Kevin Huerter. Fires the three. The rookie, Huerter, unbothered, buries the three.
And the game flow in the second half is completely different than the first. That first half equals out of sight, out of mind. Way to recalibrate in the locker room and find your rhythm back on the court.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
For the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 24, subbing in for the Hawks.
It's the Hawks with the basketball. Trae Young. To Kevin Huerter. Down low, Plumlee. Almost unlucky bounce. Ferguson to Westbrook. Lets it fly from long range. Westbrook bothered just enough on that one.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter.
The winner will receive courtside seats and a halftime presentation in his or her honor. Nominations can be submitted on our team website.
Westbrook has a chance, gets a look, can't hit.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
The drive by Westbrook, but a shot stays out.
And if I'm on the defensive end, this is where I apply more pressure. I want to make sure this guy does not get going in the second half.
Shot from the lane won't go. Hawks with the basketball. Trae Young to Ken Bazemore. Down low, Plumlee. Oh, defender pulling the chair. Westbrook into the front court. The lead stands at 9. And the basket good at the rim.
I've seen him float so much on the perimeter, I forgot he even had that kind of physical presence. Good to see him beating up on people down low again.
Trae Young to Ken Bazemore. Greg Monroe snatching it out of the air.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Hawks have it. Trae Young. To Jeremy Lin. Trying to cash in. Shot by Lin won't go. Westbrook with it. The lead is 11. Beyond the arc for 3. Tough shot there for Westbrook. He always thinks it has a chance.
He was absolutely scoring at will in the first half. But now that the defense has picked up, don't try to do too much. Less is more.
Bazemore here against Ferguson. To Trae Young. Lin. Now pass taken away by the Thunder.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Westbrook. Shot's no good. You have to like the confidence, but that was a difficult shot.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Westbrook with the basketball. His team up by 7. To George. Fires the 3. Paul George locked in. Hits the tough 3.
You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And guess what? They're living large right now.
Here's Atlanta. Lin to Ken Bazemore. And finishes strong.
Some players are so cerebral. I'm not even paying attention to the dunk as much as I'm paying attention to the player pointing and communicating to everybody his team needs a guard on the next play down the court.
George to Westbrook. Free throws coming up.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Russell Westbrook, couple of free throws on the way. He's perfect from the line so far. First one, count it. And he makes them both. It's Atlanta ball. Lin. Prince against Paul George. To Lin. Has a look. Shot by Lin won't go. Westbrook into the front court. Lead stands at 10. Has a chance. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Now here's an intentional foul. So free throws coming up in what is an 8-point ball game.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
First one goes down. And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Lin with it. His guys down by 9. And counted at the rim.
You know, he may not show up in your feed all the time with the crazy highlights, but he's one of the most underrated creative shot makers we have in this game.
And they're going to play this one out to its conclusion as we get an intentional foul. That means free throws coming up in what is a 7-point game.
Smart play. You have fouls to use. Good way to manage the clock without burning the timeout.
And gets both to drop at the line. The Hawks will use a timeout. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
And they're going to play this one out to its conclusion as we get an intentional foul. That means free throws coming up in what is a 7-point game.
Good foul right there. You want to stop the clock.
Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Lynn with it. His team down 9. Add 2 points to the board. And they're going to play this one out to its conclusion as we get an intentional foul. That means free throws coming up in what is a 7-point game. And hits the first free throw. Able to convert on both free throws. They'll let one fly from half court. Good victory here for the Thunder as they take care of business at home. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Thunder did what great teams do best: finish. They did an incredible job with the 3-ball, getting plenty of points from long range. As a squad, they were able to take advantage of a perimeter defense that couldn't lock them down. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Hawks just couldn't close this one out. And even though they shot so well from the field, I bet they're only thinking about the shots they missed. This was a tough game to lose. Check out the leading scores for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Assists.
The teams in this matchup did a great job of moving the ball and keeping the game flowing. It was the sort of action fans love to see, and I definitely enjoyed it myself. The unselfish play made for a great game.
Player of the game.
Paul George was aggressive today with his scoring, getting his points right at the basket. He put down a crazy number of dunks in today's matchup. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here's a look at the upcoming games for the Oklahoma City Thunder. behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.